Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Øystein and I'm trying to become a bookworm. And in this video I'm going to talk about my reading goals and how I'm doing with my reading goals. First of all, I decided to have reading goals to have something to stretch for and try to become a more regular reader or a more prolific reader. And so far it has really worked. Let's start with the biggest goal, and that was reading 53 books in 1 year. I made this goal because then I would have read more than one book a week, and that would feel great. And it would also feel like a challenge. So far I've read 27 books, so I'm on track to reach my goal for this year. And it feels kinda stressful, I have to admit, because I feel like I'm spending all my time reading, and even though I might not want to read, I still read just to keep track with my reading goal, but also to not become afraid of reading, if that makes sense. I'm sort of afraid if I stop, I'll just stop altogether. So my reading goals are very much pushing me in the direction of reading more books. If this is mostly positive or mostly negative, I haven't really figured out yet. But we'll just wait and see what it feels like when this year ends. My next goal was reading 5 big books, and these 5 big books I made a video about, and I said to myself that I'm going to read these 5 specific books. I started out this year by reading 3 of them quite quickly, just so I wouldn't stress with my overall 53 goal. You can sort of tell how well that is going. But I'm really happy with this goal in particular, just because it feels great completing bigger books and having read some of the bigger classics. Not all of the 5 big books are classics, but I'm sort of thinking about maybe doing 5 classic reads for 2023 or something like that. Just to read some books that you might not want to read, but I have been surprised with some of the books so far, so this goal has really paid off for me. Also, it's not the biggest goal because there are only 5 titles, and that doesn't take up that much time altogether in the course of the year, even though reading Kristin Lavransdatter in particular with 1200 pages, I think, seemed very much like a chore when I read it. We'll see what happens next year, but I think maybe read 5 specific books for the whole year might be a good idea, because there's so much time and you can decide when you want to do it. My next goal was reading 5 authors from countries I hadn't read before, and I thought this goal was very good and very bad at the same time. It was good because I need to find authors that I haven't read before from other countries and try to learn something about other cultures. And of course, if an author is from one place, it will have a different perspective than from another place. The bad thing about this goal is that I struggle to decide where the authors come from. I don't know if there's a rule of thumb here, but if an author is born one place and moves at the age of 5, where is the author from? And a lot of authors I've read have this dilemma. I don't know if there's a dilemma at all. The most important thing is that I read from different perspectives and not one specific place. I don't know if this goal will be with me next year, just because I want to find out what's my thing. And so far I'm sort of struggling finding out what I really enjoy, and that will probably take some more time, I guess. But I don't want to limit myself that much next year. My next goal really caught me somewhat off guard, because that was reading 3 children's novels this year, and that I've already done. But the thing that surprised me was how much I enjoyed reading children's novels. And for me, having not been a reader earlier, I sort of feel like I should read more adult books. I know almost all of you will object to this, but it's still a feeling, even though it's not correct. This all sounds a bit weird, but I really enjoy the simplicity of children's literature and how easygoing it is, how black and white it is, how everything's allowed, you can do what you want. How the crooks are just evil, and the good guys are just fantastic in all ways. Who needs nuances anyway? I probably should just embrace it and read all of the David Walliams novels I have, or Astrid Lindgren, or whoever, because I really enjoy it. It's so fast-paced. You can get through 1 or 3 books in a day, doesn't matter. I know I'm overthinking this, and I know that this shouldn't really matter. I just feel that I should get something out of the books I read, and a lot of books I read these days I do, but the point should also be enjoy yourselves. As I just talked about, I really want to find out what's my kind of books, and maybe children's books are my kind of books, but I don't want them to be in a way. Anyway, that's where we're at. I will probably read a whole lot of children's literature in the years to come. My next goal is something that I've struggled a bit with, and not for the reasons I thought I would, because I've struggled with reading a graphic novel this year because of the price tag. I've probably picked up Heartstopper about 5 to 10 times when I've been at the airport, thinking that I could read it on the airplane, and then I just browsed through it and see that I would probably finish this before the plane has landed, and it still costs more than the books I usually buy. And if I first buy one Heartstopper book, I'd probably want to read all 4 of them, and then it's about $60 or something like that. So that's basically why I haven't done it yet. First I started out thinking that I would read Sandman by Neil Gaiman, but these were like these magazines, and I thought I don't want a magazine in my shelf because I have issues. And then I found this special edition which cost about $150, and I thought, no way. To conclude, I'll probably read Heartstopper at some point. Hopefully I can find it thrifted. Hopefully I'll find all 4 of them thrifted, and that'll be the end of this madness. But anyway, I'll read a graphic novel this year. That's the most important thing. Next we have the non-reading goals, or the channel goals, or the list of goals I'm too scared to do. And the first goal is to have a live session, to be online and talk about stuff. The only issue is that I usually make these videos quite long and then they just shrink. So I'm too afraid of just having nothing to talk about, even though that might be weird to you. But it's going to happen at some point, probably at the 31st of December this year or something like that, but it will happen, I promise. If you have suggestions for what I could talk about in this live session, please comment below because I desperately need it. Then I thought I could make one interview that I haven't done yet, because in my head it all gets too complicated. It will either be very complicated and I will spend a whole lot of time making that one interview and that will be that, or I'll just make a very short interview on the go and that will also be an interview. So I do not know which way to go on this one. I also have to find someone to interview. I can't interview myself. That would probably be the worst thing that could happen. Also, I had a goal of making 6 videos a month, and that has been done. So that's a good thing. I'll just keep it up. And my last goal was trying to get one person to want to read more based on watching my videos. It's kind of hard to tell, but I've got some indication that that has already happened, and that is cause for celebration. I'm very happy if I could motivate more people to read. So do goals work? Yes, they definitely do, even though I'm a bit stressed out sometimes trying to reach my goals. And that begs the question, are goals worth having? And I really don't know yet. I think my reading goals for next year will be more symbolic, because I want to be a reader that just wants to read all the time next year. But still, I think that the smaller goals might be useful. If nothing else, just to read books that you normally wouldn't think that you should read. I'm very happy with my reading so far, and I still love making these videos and interacting with you in the comment section. And I'm looking forward to the next half of this year. And it will be interesting to see where it leads us. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!